The Addams Family is a pinball machine from March of 1992 and manufactured by Bally Manufacturing Company. The theme is based on the 1991 movie starring Raul Julia and Angelica Houston as the married couple at the center of a strange family. The Addams Family was, at the time and remains to this day, the most commercially successful pinball machine, selling 20,270 units, 40 more than Bally's 8-Ball, which had held the position since 1977. At the time in arcades, it was almost impossible to not have seen this game, and it is possible many people you know have heard or have played an Addams before. In the early 1990s, advances in computing had allowed pinball machines to become more complex, and arcades were still a big business. These factors, along with pinball aligning with pop culture, created what is the greatest selling pinball machine of all time. This is the history of the Addams Family Pinball. Pat Lawler was asked to make a game with the Bally name after the acquisition of Bally Pinball Division by Williams in 1988 and 89. Pat had previously worked with Williams on Earthshaker, Whirlwind, and Funhouse. The Williams team looked down on the Bally team since Bally was the company struggling and eventually bought out. That attitude also spread to buyers who would rather purchase Williams games and pass on the Bally ones. When Pat was told to make a Bally game, it was thought that the brand name alone would hurt sales. However, Pat would completely change that perception. The game features a 4-flipper layout, including numerous Lawler staples, such as the shot through the bumpers and the upper flipper ramp shot. The game has many unique features, including the Thing, an animatronic hand with a built-in magnet that will grab and lock the pinballs under the playfield for multi-ball play. There is also a computer-controlled mini flipper that, using artificial intelligence, learns to shoot a cross-playfield shot into the swamp with remarkable consistency. It tries to maintain a success rate between 40% and 60%, while normal players usually average around 25%. Though on properly maintained machines, it can be almost perfect all the time. One earlier form of auto-flipping appears in Williams' 1953 Palisades. The game features the first ever optical target bank in the bookcase. Finally, magnets under the lower playfield activate as the Power, an earned feature during play to affect ball movement. There are two main strategies to this game. The first one corresponds to the mansion, located in the middle of the playfield. Each window of the mansion corresponds to an award, or mode. To activate them, a shot is needed into the hole under the electric chair, or into the swamp, and complete the corresponding objective. The idea is to get to the top of the mansion by finishing enough missions to activate Tour the Mansion, the game's wizard mode. The Addams Family is frequently credited with popularizing the wizard mode, despite not being the first game to have one. A wizard mode, named after The Who's Pinball Wizard, is a special mode or bonus started only after completing a long and difficult series of tasks. This can be achieved by visiting every room in the mansion. The second axis of gameplay is located in the library. Each hit to the bookcase will spell the word greed to open it. Fun fact, this is the name of the fake book that opens the secret passage to Gomez's safe in the movie. At the end of the fifth letter, the bookcase rotates, giving you access to the safe, a hole allowing you to lock the balls to launch one of the multi-balls. In early productions of the game, a sticker was used instead. During early playtesting, the team noticed that people could not figure out how to open the vault. The text originally read, "Number of balls locked in vault equals super jackpot multiplier." So they changed the art for later plastics, but in order to use the ones already in-house, they put the sticker on them. This was common with changes from testing to production, and was a normal part of the business. Coupled with these two ways of gameplay, there are lots of complementary elements. The bear kick ramp, which uses the living Addams carpet in the movie, activates different elements of the board. There is a train wreck target to score extra points, orbit and ramp combos, multiple stand-up targets, a skill shot, and much, much more. That is the basic overview of the game. There are entire guides dedicated to explaining every rule set and point, and is often played a lot in competition. While many machines are complicated today, this was an industry first for the amount of innovations, gameplay elements, and code.
And now for more music. Stay locked on with all the hits.
In the early 90s, Williams was marked by the increasing number of specialists working on the different areas of the games: licensing, musicians, voiceover artists, sculptors, and display artists, all leading to great improvements of the overall product. Bally Williams paid almost nothing for the license because companies were simply excited to have their product turned into a pinball game. Chris Granner and John Hay did the sounds on Addams Family. The pinball features custom speech by the movie's actors Anjelica Huston and Raul Julia. It was noted that Raul was extremely dedicated to giving a great performance for the game, while other actors on previous games felt they were just doing a favor. Cousin It's voice was made by speeding up speech to sound high-pitched. Chris Granner recorded a derogatory comment about Anjelica Huston and her nose, reversed it, and sped it up. This is the sound you hear in the game. Anjelica Huston insisted on changes to the way her nose was drawn on the back glass. She had final approval on all likenesses, so John Yusey flew out to California to make a sketch of her and get her to approve it. There are many characters and references drawn into each window of the mansion. Cousin It appears on the top left window, but can only be seen when the lamp behind it is lit. Side art is quite simple: a black body featuring Thing shooting a pinball on top of the logo. Although T2 had introduced the dot matrix display to Williams, Addams Family was originally designed with an alphanumeric display. The dot matrix display and controller board cost around $100, money Pat and his team thought could be spent better on the playfield. It soon became apparent that the new display technology not only introduced many new effect possibilities, but also made all previous games look outdated. There is an awesome topper for the game. It is a transparent cloud that overhangs over the roof of the mansion and is lit by 3 flashes from underneath, simulating a lightning storm during the phases of multiballs. The Addams Family pinball machine contains 2 known Easter eggs, plus a 3rd egg in the special collector's edition, each of which can be accessed using a specific flipper and start button code. The results are purely visual and do not modify actual gameplay in any way. The codes work only under the following conditions. The machine must be in its tracked or game over mode before the game has started. There must also be no credits on the machine, and the machine cannot be set to free play. The codes may also temporarily stop working if they are done too many times in a row. The first Easter egg is when cows fight. This is a dot matrix still that appears on the display for around 3 seconds. The second Easter egg is when cows dig for gold, and is only found in the Gold Collector's Edition. The last Easter egg displays the credits for the designers. Sometimes, after the ball drains and the bonus has finished counting, the flippers will automatically flip upwards during the snaps of the song. Often, people like to add modifications to their pinball machines, and there exists many for this machine as well. Fans will add figurines of the entire family, side blades, replacing the incandescent lamps with LEDs, shooter rods, and more. One of the most famous mods for this pinball machine is to add a Fester Addams figure to the electric chair, usually with a light bulb in his mouth. As nice as this mod is, it isn't actually accurate to the movie. Fester was never in the chair, since it is Pugsley who is chained to it by his sister. Often when playfields wear down or become damaged, a playfield swap is done. This involves purchasing a new playfield from a third party, removing all the items on the playfield and remounting them as a new one. Fans will do a lot to maintain or improve the game that they love. A true success for Bally Williams, the Addams Family holds an important place in pinball history and has earned a sought-after status. Because the game broke all previous sales records, designer Pat Lawler wanted to commemorate the actual record-breaking game from the production line and arranged to have it made in a gold cabinet. Some original production games have the legs, metal trim, and lockdown bar gold, with their back boxes remaining blue. Then, in October of 1994, the Addams Family was put back into production with a special run of Special Collector's Edition machines to further commemorate this machine becoming the best-selling flipper of all time. These machines have many more gold accents, such as the metal ramps, gold legs and bolts, gold lettering, the vault plastic, the bumper caps, and things box. Only 1,000 of the Special Collector's Editions were ever produced, each carrying the number 0 to 1,000 on a plaque below the coin door. A certificate with a corresponding number and the signatures of production and development team members was also unique for this edition. The game also included some play enhancements. For example, some rooms would randomly award an additional item belonging to Cousin It, such as his hat or car keys, and a bonus consisting of points, a lit extra ball, or a lit special. Also, new quotes and dot matrix graphics were added. On February 21st, 2015, Farsight Studios released their digitized version of the table as part of the Season 4 package of the Pinball Arcade. In this version, the image of Christopher Lloyd on the backlash was removed due to licensing. The Special Collector's Gold Edition was one of the rewards for those who pledged over $100 during the Kickstarter campaign. Unfortunately, by June 30th, 2018, the table is no longer available due to Farsight losing the license of WMS. Visual Pinball, a fan-created software, currently hosts virtual versions of the table. As of this video, the average price being sold off Pinside is between $11,000 and $12,000, with the Gold Edition going between $15,000 and $16,000. That means that the average selling price of a machine in correct condition is close to the price of a new Stern Premium machine, for which there are even fewer of. It's one of the most produced pinball machines of all time, and it's one of the most expensive on the secondhand market. People argue that there is a low gameplay depth compared to more modern games considering its price. However, we are talking about a machine released in 1992, and it is a piece of pop culture history for its theme, its fidelity to the movie, toys, fun, and of course a huge nostalgic aspect. It currently ranks number 20 in the Pinside Top 100 list and number 7 on the IPDB Top 300. The Addams Family pinball machine has made its mark in arcades and silver ball history. To this day, it remains one of the most iconic games of all time. It combined pop culture with pinball and sparked recognizable themes, being a staple for future games. If you have the chance to play one, I highly recommend you give it a shot. And if you want to know where to find one, there are virtual maps to find machines in your area, which I will link below. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky. The Addams Family. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe and drop a like. Big thanks to Jana for suggesting this video.